Hey guys, I think Angie, okay, yeah, Angie's mic should be working now. So I just want to open the Zoom, introduce the Zoom real quick, and then we can go ahead and get started if that's cool with you guys.
Mhm.
All right, sweet. Welcome guys. So cool. Yeah. This is the Elephant Challenge Zoom. So our elephant leader team name is the Herd of Prophets. So super stoked to have you guys. We have close to 50 people right now. Always exciting to have this many people in. If this is your first time in our Zoom, you've never been in one of our live Zooms before, if you could put a type A 1 in the chat so we can see who our newcomers are. A lot. Nice. Awesome. Charlie, Adrian, Jeff, Hassan, Paul, Maza, Quinn, Udaline. Hopefully I said that right. Amy, Veronica, Ben, Bridget. Awesome. Nice to see you guys. Nice to have you guys. Ricardo, nice to have you guys. Yeah, so this is the Elephant Challenge. If you guys are new to the Elephant Challenge or just new to our team in general, the idea for this, right, and Pace labeled or titled this challenge so brilliantly. Real estate investing in general is such a daunting, scary thing. There's a million niches, a million ways that you can make money in real estate. And the only way to get started is the same way you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. You just have to get started however you can. So congrats to you guys. I would give yourself a pat on the back for getting started, or at least taking that next step to just better your education, learn more, network with people. So there's 50 people, more than 50 people in here. So if you guys are looking for a real estate agent, lender, a real estate attorney, anyone, basically any type of person to add to your network, I'm sure we have attorneys, contractors, agents, lenders, all in this Zoom out of these 50 people. So if you're looking for any type of person to add to your network, post in the chat, make friends in the chat, post, your information or what you're looking for, what market you're in, all that good stuff. Our team consists of me. My name is Dylan. My good buddy Joey, Dominic, Rachel, and Angie. Dom, Joey, and Angie's last name is all Milanazzo. They're all related. They're all Italian, so you could probably guess that. Rachel Swartz is our back end. She makes sure we're all on time to meetings and all that good stuff. Her last name is Schwartz. So hopefully you guys all look us up on Facebook and shoot us friend requests. We'd love to be your guys' friends. So if you don't know, we host 2 Zooms every week, one on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. That is just a general Q&A. So if you guys have questions, that's a good Zoom to just come and hang out with us, ask questions. We go over some high level stuff. Our Friday Zoom, so today we usually pick one topic and deep dive. So today we actually wanted to listen to some recording. So we have some people on our team that make phone calls. They call agents. They mostly call agents that have listings where there's not a ton of equity. So we are pitching to take over the payments on that loan. So we're going to listen to some of those recordings today. So those are really good recordings. You guys can listen how we pitch subject to on market listings to talk to agents. So that's the plan for today. And then also, Ange, can you pass me co-host? Thank you. Joel asked if we're still doing cash. We will if it falls in our lap and it's a good deal, but we don't focus on cash really. So I wanted to show you guys our Facebook group. We have our very own Facebook group. It's completely free. It's called Herd of Profits. And I will drop the link to that in the chat. So if you guys want to join our Facebook group, it's completely free. We have close to 900 members and counting. The benefit of our Facebook group, as opposed to maybe the creative real estate page with Pace Morby, is there's just not 10 or 100,000 people in here. So your questions are less likely to get lost in the algorithm. If you have questions or anything you want to ask about, post it in our Herd of Profits group, and you're more likely to get replies We also have some good resources available for all of you guys. So we have a seller net sheet that you can download. This is a side-by-side comparison of someone who wants to list their home on the market versus sell it subject to. So that's a good thing to send to sellers. We have some subject to frequently asked questions. We send this to agents and sellers anytime we send an offer. We have a script. So this is, if you guys want to join our Facebook group, I highly encourage that. Download this script. This is basically what our people call, and they use this script. We have a foreclosure process PDF. We have an underwriting calculator for creative finance. We have our buy box as a PDF. So if you guys want to send us leads, this is our buy box. This is the deals we're looking for. Let me close that. We have an estimating repair cost PDF. This is an amazing PDF if you guys are not familiar with how to estimate repair costs for a property. And then also we have these LOIs. So these stand for letter of intents. These are basically just 2-page documents that spell out terms of creative finance offers. So anytime we send an offer, we send a letter of intent first because it's easier to read, easier to understand. So we have a hybrid letter of intent which means you're going to take over someone's mortgage payment and they're going to seller finance a portion of their equity. We have a subject to only LOI. So you're just going to take over their mortgage payment, and a seller finance LOI. So they have all the equity and you're just going to structure a seller finance offer. So highly encourage you guys to join our Facebook group. I'm going to approve all these guys right now. Ton of new members. I maybe should have read some of those, but yeah, feel free to join our Facebook group. And then lastly, before we get started, we are currently live on YouTube right now. We go live. Every Zoom is saved and recorded on Angie Milanazzo on Angie's YouTube channel. So you can see we're live right now. I will drop the link to her channel also in the chat. So if you guys ever miss a Zoom or want to just go back and watch some of our old Zooms, please go subscribe to Angie's YouTube channel. No cussing. Okay, I will do my best to not cuss. Nobody cuss. But yeah, go subscribe to Angie's YouTube channel. We are on the road to get her to 1,000 subscribers, trying to pass that 800 mark. So if everyone in here that's new or just is not subscribed to Angie, if you could go check it out. It's really great. We have tons of hour to 2 hour long Zooms, Q&As, live calling agents, underwriting deals, how to identify deals, all that good stuff. So make sure you guys check these Zooms out. They're great resources, great ways to learn. So Joel, yeah, no cussing, man. You're a sailor. I know that. Nice. We have 60 people in here now. So yeah, so drop some resources in the chat. Please go join our Facebook group and subscribe to Angie's YouTube channel. And yeah, so that's just a little bit about us. So we will get started now. I will save questions till the end. So if you guys have a lead or a deal you're working on, I'm going to save that to the end. I really wanted to listen to some recordings and give some people that free value there. 26 years old and you had then half your age, Dylan. Thanks, Joe. Cool. Chris, you just joined. Awesome. Bridget is 9 months into sub 2, and her markets are Southern California and North Carolina. So if any of you guys have a deal in those states, feel free to hit up Bridget. Awesome. So, all right. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. We have some really good recordings saved. I think it's call recordings. This is it, right? Yeah. Okay. Sweet. So these are some of the guys on our team. I wanted to I think we have my guy Graham in here.
Hey everyone.
Yep. Hey Graham. Everybody, this is Graham Norris. He is out of Tennessee, longtime real estate investor. I think a little bit newer to creative financing, but not new to real estate at all, and knows his stuff. So Graham is a great guy to know if you guys are interested in the Tennessee market at all. But yeah, Graham, I hope you don't mind. I wanted to play some of your recordings because I know you've just been
Sure.
crushing it. Yeah, you have a lot. So yeah, wanted to play through these. Any good ones that you'd want to listen to right off the bat, or?
There's one called Champion Road.
Okay, right here.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to
So
this
I've
one
got my
too.
false
And
teeth in this one.
no worries, no worries. Sweet, but yeah, I just wanted to go over some of these recordings and then offer some feedback, and then maybe open it for a little bit of questions if you guys have any calls about how this call went. So actually, I think I need to stop share, start share, share sound. I always do that. Share. Okay, so you guys should be able to hear this. So I'm gonna play it now. Oh, play.
Press 1 to be connected to this Premier agent.
You guys can hear that?
Yep.
Okay.
It's Marcus.
Hey, Marcus, it's Graham Norris here with EXP Realty. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm glad I connected with you. I know you're a busy man. I'm calling about. I'm calling about your listing on Champion Road. Is that one still available?
It is. It is still available technically, but they have committed to renting that one out at this point, though.
Ah, okay. My clients are they're investors, so they still might be interested in buying it if your client's still interested in selling.
They are still interested in selling for sure. So
Okay.
yeah, if you got buyers, yeah, definitely would love to bring me an offer on it.
Yeah, and I think it's okay with the tenants if if they're just installing them. I presume they're being installed at the current fair market rental rates. Is that right?
They are.
Yes.
Yeah, they have not put the tenants in yet, but that's definitely the plan.
Okay. That's really interesting. And does anything need doing to the property? Any rehab or any fixing that needs doing?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Should be livable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I know the owners have not owned this long. Why are they selling so quick?
They've got job related for them.
Okay. They moved out of state, did they? Kind of makes sense.
Good.
Yeah. All right. Well, would you be able to? The way my investors like to do it is subject to any existing finance on the property. Would the owners be open to that idea? Make it nice and simple.
Subject to what? Say that one more time. I'm so sorry.
Subject to the existing financing on the property, and I think they've got a mortgage on it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there is the mortgage on it.
Yeah, so would we be able to just take over that and give them some money for the equity?
No, unfortunately it's not one that they can. The loan that they have on it, they can't. They don't have the ability to assign the mortgage, unfortunately.
No, not to assign it. We just make payments for each month, so it would remain in their name, and we would have a servicing company making payments.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, they're not in the position to do that.
They're not. Okay. Is that because of the DTI?
No, they. I don't know whether I've spoken to your clients before, but I've got people that have called multiple times asking about it, and I keep telling them no. But yeah, they're just not capable to do that at this point.
Okay, I understand. We can still write up an offer though, and you still present it to them, would you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get they're ready. They've got their pencils sharpened, as it were, So we can send something over to you in the next 24, 48 hours. And if you have any questions on it, then get back to us, all right?
I will. And I believe that you called in through Zillow.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every time that you call in through Zillow, we get a charge from Zillow for that.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
wasn't aware of that.
Right now, and I see your number on there multiple times. I was like, hey, this is that number that we're getting all those charges from.
There we go. I'm sorry about that. See, what's your direct number then, Marcus?
Yeah, it's 423-667-9393.
All right, perfect. I'll make a note of that, and you won't be charged by Zillow again. They're sneaky, aren't they? I didn't know that.
every time, because we're Zillow Premier agents, and so every time we get a notification from them saying you've got connected to a consumer through us.
Yeah, you might want to change that, being a preferred agent then, huh? That sounds crazy.
Well, that is there's a lot of pros to it, but this would be a con for sure.
Yes, indeed. Well, all right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Marcus, for letting us know.
Thank you.
We'll be in touch. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Awesome. That was really good, Graham. So I was trying to take notes while I was listening to that. First of all, I loved the way you did it. It was definitely different than obviously I do it because I'm not an agent. So this could work for any of you that are agents. Even if you want to buy properties for yourself, right? Agents love to talk to other agents, right? They much rather get a phone call from another agent than some wholesaler, some investor, some person that they know doesn't abide by the same guidelines necessarily as them. So plus EXP has, I think, a very reputable name in the real estate agent world. So that's another added level of credibility for you. So I love the way you approach that your clients are investors. Even though, like, right, if you wanted to buy the home, they're not going to know if you own the LLC or not, right? So you could be your own client technically. So I love that approach to it. Obviously, if you're not an agent, one way that I usually introduce it is I'm just a buyer. I don't mention I'm an investor off the bat. I say I'm a buyer. I'm looking to pick up a rental property or two in this area, yada, yada. Can you tell me a little bit about the home? And then Graham also brought up the point that where he noticed that they hadn't lived in the home very long. And it was just interesting. Why are they selling so quickly if they just bought it recently, right? So you never want to directly ask what their motivation is. You don't want to say, why are they selling or what's their motivation? You want to ask open-ended questions, right? So Graham did a great job of, I see they bought it recently. He did ask what their motivation, but by leading it with, I see they bought it recently, it raises the question, right? Like, why do they need to sell it? So you pulled the motivation out of the agent perfectly. It's a job offer, right? The client got a position either far away or in a different state, so they need to sell the home. And this would be a type of motivation where it's not like they want to downsize or want to upsize, right? If he got a job offer and he accepted it, he needs to sell, right? So that's a stronger motivation. So just picking up on that is a good thing. So you got the motivation, and then you introduced, well, we'd love to send an offer and see if it would be a good fit. And then you mentioned the subject to, right? And this is maybe where I could offer a little feedback, Graham. You mentioned, right, subject to the existing financing, which is, I like that verbiage. And you used subject to in a sentence. But when he said, he didn't know what that meant, right? Even though he had heard subject to pitches multiple times, he disclosed that. He let us know so many people have called him about it. Basically just saying, yeah, we'll pay them their equity and take over their payments. So that just to maybe explain it a little bit more simply in that regard, if he didn't understand it the first time. What was really interesting about this call is that he said they're not in a position to, or they're not able to. which isn't a valid objection because we're not assuming it, right? So it doesn't matter if the loan is assumable or not assumable. You said the loan will stay in their name, right? So, and then you brought up DTI. You asked, is that because of debt to income? And he says, no, they just can't do it, right? He didn't really have a clear objection. So it's hard to handle an objection when you're not getting an objection that makes sense. So that was a difficult objection, I guess, to overcome because he was just telling you they can't without telling you a reason. So, and if their plan is to rent the home out, their debt to income then doesn't matter, right? If their goal is to sell this and then buy a new home, but they haven't sold it, they're just going to rent it, right? What's the difference of renting it versus letting us just take over the payment, right? So in my thought, I'm like, well, 100% you can let someone take over the payment, because if they're just going to rent it anyways, what's the difference, right? Basically, you're letting someone else take over the payment. I haven't underwrote this, but it's my guess, my assumption is that they're not going to be cash flowing 500, $1,000 a month. They'll be lucky if they probably make a couple $100, I guess. So yeah, it's likely they break even anyways, right? It's likely they just have their mortgage covered by someone else, literally exactly what we're offering them, but we're also offering them a down payment. We're offering them to pay them their equity. So great phone call. You can tell that agent doesn't quite understand it. So that's great that you said, well, why don't we send you an offer? You'll present it. He said, absolutely. And then on our follow-up call, maybe we can handle or actually like pull out of him what his real objection is. Graham, I think maybe another point of feedback on that is asking the question, have you had that conversation with them? Like, what did that conversation go like, right? Because it sounds to me like he's just voicing his opinion. He's not saying they don't want that. He's saying they can't do that, which again just doesn't make sense. Like, why can't they? He never gave you a reason. It wasn't debt to income. It's not that the loan doesn't allow that, because in subject to, it doesn't matter if the loan doesn't allow that. It's your home. You can do that. You have risk of the note being called due, but if your sellers and us are willing to take that risk, then it works. Yeah, I think that's really all the feedback I have on it. Anything? No? Okay. So yeah, great phone call though, Graham. Anything you want to mention?
No, that's great feedback. Yeah, it always takes more than one phone call, doesn't it? So it's like this was the warm up, and I felt I had my false teeth in. I kept stumbling over words and things, but yeah, it'd be nice to have a conference call with the owners, and find out the rabbits, as it were. That's what I see that in the chat. Find the rabbits, and it's hard to do that when you're talking to an agent, finding the rabbits.
Yep.
So
100%. Yeah. And you're right. It's just a first phone call. So you don't want to dig too deep or push too hard on that first phone call. I think you did great, right? Like, you're right. You definitely don't want to dig too deep, right? Like, well, why can't they, right? And you did ask that. Well, why can't they? You suggested, is it debt to income? And again, he said, no, they just can't, right? So you don't want to keep pushing until that guy gets pissed at you and doesn't want to see anything anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. So I think you did great, right? Like, let us get something in front of you, show it to your clients, have that conversation, then we'll call you back and figure out what the real reason is, right? It is possible maybe they just don't want to go that route. My guess is they're just not informed enough, to be honest. So maybe if they were more informed, they could then make a better decision, considering all the benefits and also all the risks. So yeah. Amy says you were super empathetic.
Well, yeah, it sounds like the sellers as well are investor friendly, having rented it out. So I think they will be super interested in hearing our offer, actually.
Yeah. Exactly. That's my thought, is like, well, if you're going to rent it out, debt to income doesn't matter, because you're going to have this loan in your name either way, right? So might as well pull your equity out of it and let us just take over the payments, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. And if they're investor friendly, right? Meaning they're not opposed to just renting it out. But if they don't have rentals, or they've never been a landlord, right? If you just want to be a landlord, like you're forced into being a landlord, you necessarily don't want to. It can be a headache. Like, you know, finding renters, hiring a property management company, making repairs if that ever needs to happen, right? Like capital expenditures, right? It's likely they break even or lose money. I haven't looked at it, but just in all my experience, my guess is that, you know, they're likely not going to cash flow a ton of money. So they might, at the end of the day, make $100 or $200. Who knows? So, but yeah, that was amazing too. And maybe my last point of feedback, Graham, was just to, yeah, like maybe build a little bit more rapport with that agent. So, you know, let them know that your investors buy 3 to 6 homes a month in this area. We mostly look for low equity or tired landlords. So, you know, if you could save me in your phone, again, I like the agent approach, right? Like I'm connected with tons of investors buying tons of properties every month. So if you ever have a tough listing, shoot it over to me. I'll see if it works for any of my buyers, right? So that's a great way to get your foot in the door and make a relationship with these agents.
There it goes. Yeah. Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Thanks, Graham. All right. Yeah, that was a really good phone call too. Anthony, yeah, maybe too. Yeah, maybe too. That could be another point, Graham, is that you didn't mention we pay his commission. So yeah, throwing that out there, we'll pay all the commissions and the closing costs. Maybe just to entice him a little bit more, he might get curious or have some more questions and might be a little bit more open to that. So good point, Anthony. Sweet. All right, that was a good phone call. Let's switch it up. Let's listen to a girl make a call. Sessing. I think Sessing's here. Are you here, Sessing? Yep, she is. She might be busy, but
yes, I'm here. Sorry, busy working.
No, you're fine. No, I love it. Are there any of these that stand out that you think would be good to listen to?
Well, I just had a bad conversation. This is my first one ever with the agent. It was 11916.
Okay.
I don't think I did a good job with that one. That was one of my worst.
Do you want to listen to that and get some feedback on it?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Let's do it. We'll play this one. Yeah. Mr. James. Okay. And then real quick, I saw a question. Joel says, do you let them double dip, dual agency? What commission do you usually give? Great question, Joel. So as an investor, if you're doing cash, right, it's totally fine to let them double dip, right? Like I will let you represent me. You can
the same.
Double dip.
You want to come in?
I don't know how that keeps happening. Because in a cash transaction, typically the seller is going to pay both the listing and the listing and the buying agent, right? So it's no extra money out of your pocket. It's more beneficial for the agent to actually do that too, right? So yeah, when you're doing cash wholesaling, 100% offer that agent to represent you, because they'll make more money. They're going to be more apt to entice or push their client to take your offer, right? Versus creative financing, we typically offer to pay the listing agent as an extra benefit for the seller. So it wouldn't benefit us to also let the agent represent us, because now we just doubled our cost, right? So we typically offer agent commissions for the listing side anywhere from 2 to 3%, which the standard listing agent is already agreed to make 2 to 3%, sometimes 4%, but most of the time it's on average, I would say 3%. So just as a negotiation, we offer to pay them a 2% commission. And then if they want to ask their clients for an extra 1% from the down payment we give them, they can do that. I've had an agent take 2% from us and 4% from his clients from the down payment we gave them. So he was ecstatic. He made 6%. I didn't even know that until we got the HUD statement and saw, okay, this guy made most of his money. That's why he was so cool throughout the transaction. Assessing, you have something?
No, I'm good.
No, okay. No worries. But yeah, and then if we send an offer where we offer 2% to the listing agent and they come back and say, hey, would you guys do 3%? We usually 90% of the time say, yeah, no worries, we'll pay you 3%. But just as a negotiating, right, we want to start lower and then just give ourselves more room for negotiation. But in seller finance and sub 2, we typically say we will come unrepresented and we will pay your listing commission. So there's not a double dip opportunity, but in cash there is. Anthony says, just get him opened up and don't worry about the commission. Just let them know you want to make a bunch of money together, become friends and relationships. Yeah, I love that too, right? So like the relationship is the most important. We've had tons of calls that we've made to agents where the specific listing we're calling them on doesn't turn out to be a deal, but they've sent us, they're like, no, this one doesn't work, but this one works, right? That's happened multiple times for us. So yeah, trying to make just relationships with those agents is always typically better than even trying to get this one under contract, right? Because you'll get repeat business 100%. So all right, let's go ahead and listen to this one.
This is Jamie.
Hey, Jamie. My name is Sessing. I'm a realtor in the New York area and was just looking at one of your properties at 11916 Southwest 18th Street. And I was just, yeah, so one, I just want to find out if it's still available. And two, I see that it looks like a very nice property. I just need to find out, are there any issues regarding the property that's not on the listing?
It is still available. I did receive an offer last night, but it didn't work out with their financing. So it is available, and there is nothing. The disclosures are available online, but there is nothing cosmetically or mechanically or foundation wrong that we're aware of.
Great, fantastic. That's good to know. Also, okay, let me see. Okay, great, fantastic. So the offer did not work out then that you currently have?
Financing, yes, the buyers financing that they thought they had secured was not.
Okay, all right, that's understandable. All right,
Yeah.
so I see that, are they looking to move soon or are they just waiting for a good deal?
The house is vacant. They've already purchased another property.
Oh, okay, so they're holding on to 2 properties then?
Yes.
Okay, got you. Fantastic. So let me ask you a question about this. I am working with a investor to purchase a couple of properties in the Yukon area, and your property looks fantastic. And we are looking at, is there any situation with renting it out or long-term or short-term rental? Is that a problem there in your area?
How so? How it with for my sellers or
no,
the community?
for the buyers. We are looking to buy the property and maybe turn it into a rental if possible. Is there any issues with that?
Not on our end.
Oh, no. Okay, so there are communities out there that have rentals in the area.
Yes.
Okay, great, fantastic. So we can easily give you cash for your price, but of course, we don't want to insult your sellers by giving you a lowballed offer. But there is another way we can do this is by taking over their loan and pay them their equity or even pay them a little bit more of their equity. Would you be interested in?
So you're referring to an assumable loan?
Not so much assumable. It's more just taking over their loan and then leaving everything in place, and they just
No,
need the.
no, I would not advise my clients or any client to do that.
Oh, okay. So
it would need to fund. It would need to fund, and title would have to move title to a buyer and release my sellers of all obligation.
Okay, so releasing your okay, so I understand. So what they would be doing is deeding us the property, and then the only only
No. But you're saying you would be taking over the loan. That would leave them on the hook, and you could walk off with their property.
Oh, no, we have everything in place that would never happen, and if it does, we will definitely do what is called a deed in lieu.
Okay.
All right, so we would never do that to your clients. And
Ma'am,
yes,
please don't talk over me. That does not work for my clients. It
Oh my
doesn't work
God.
here in Oklahoma. So we're not interested. Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Oh my God, Cecily. No, she said, please don't talk over me.
I know.
You
I
did
was-
great.
I had to re-listen to it to see where I was talking over her, but I was trying to keep my mouth shut so she could talk, but it was like,
No,
Yeah.
Assessing. It's because she doesn't understand subject to.
oh
get mad.
gosh, yeah.
Agents get mad when they don't understand it. I don't know why, but it's just because they feel threatened because they don't understand what subject to is. So it wasn't
Thanks,
you.
guys.
You did well.
Oh geez. Thank you.
Yeah, that lady was crazy, Cecily. You did great. I'm taking notes and I do have some feedback, but she was just crazy. That was absurd. Especially like you're another agent, right? So you get where she's coming from. So okay, I didn't finish
Yeah.
my notes, but I'll go over them. So I typed that in. Yeah, she was extremely hostile. She woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Someone peed in her cornflakes this morning. So yeah, no, you did amazing. So I would say, like, almost immediately within the first minute of your conversation, this is just a sales tactic. If you guys have ever been in sales, there's different types of people. Some people say there's 4 types. I think there's sort of 2 types of people. You have very bubbly, friendly agents typically. Ones that are just super nice to talk to. They'll answer your questions. They'll keep talking. They'll talk about the backsplash, the neighborhood, the schools, all of that stuff. And then you'll have agents like this. In the first minute, you could identify that she was quick to the point, short on the phone. Like you could almost tell in that first minute that she was going to be a rude or just more tough agent to crack. So for you, Cecily, you're very sweet. You're very bubbly.
Thanks.
So it may be hard, but if you can recognize that that's the type of agent you're talking to, match her tone, right? So try not to be as sweet. Try to be like quicker, to the point. That's that type of agent, and people like to talk to the same personalities they have. So that would be my only feedback, is recognizing that she was quick, not giving you a ton of feedback about motivation or rental, right? She didn't understand why you were asking about the rental. She's like, there's no problem on our end. And you laughed. You're like, that's not what I'm asking you about. She didn't get it. So no, but you did great considering how rude
Thank
she
you.
was.
I needed that feedback.
Yeah. You asked about the condition of the home. That was great. And you also pulled out a little bit of information, right? She said they got an offer. So there are people interested in the home. They are getting offers. She didn't say, well, she actually said that it's their financing fell through. So maybe it was another subject to offer. Who knows? Or it could have been an FHA and they just didn't qualify. Who knows? But you got a little bit of info out of them. So you know that they are getting some interest in the property. So and then I didn't finish this note, but when she said no, I would not advise my clients of that. Try to put yourself in her shoes, right? So as a real estate agent who's never heard of this, right? She was blown away that you would even suggest to take over their payments, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna you're going to absolutely screw my sellers if you do this. So saying, no, I completely understand. It sounds totally abnormal, right? A lot of people have never heard of this, but
Yeah. She
third
cut
party
me off
story.
because I wanted to tell her, look, check your HUD settlement statement. That's what I wanted to end it off with, but she cut me
Yep.
off.
Right. Yeah, you were trying to talk over her, right? Crazy lady, man. But no, you did as good as you could, considering the circumstances. So, but yeah, so trying to take it from, no, I understand, it sounds crazy, but we do buy 3 to 6 homes a month in Oklahoma. So saying that, because we've done 3 deals in Oklahoma, subject to, so it's not illegal. It's on the HUD statement, right? So really not much more that you could have done. She had her wall up. She was not open to it. So not sure if you could have done anything differently. So, but besides that, great call. I mean, you tried your best. Just, yeah, you're going to run into those agents every now and then. So it's unfortunate.
Thank you.
Yeah, to 18 new messages. You guys love that call. So I think that was really good. I think a lot of people can relate to that type of phone call. I've definitely had those phone calls. I think a lot of people can relate to that. So, yeah, I'm just reading through these. Yeah, she didn't have a clue. She got scared, right? That would be the type of one where we might just call those sellers directly. Yeah, Stevie would have given her back her own rudeness. Yeah. And I could tell, Sessing, you wanted to before she hung up on you. I could tell.
Yeah.
Rachel Lewis says, what's the simplest way to explain sub 2 to an agent so they understand that it's not assigning or assuming the loan? Great question, Rachel. This is like a great point of teaching, I think, for everybody. So when you explain subject to, the simplest way to explain it is, we will basically take over their payments, pay their equity, pay the closing costs and the commission, and take over ownership of the property. That's the simplest way. And you might get agents like this that say, what the hell are you talking about? That's crazy, right? And then you'll get agents that say, so are you talking about assuming their loan? Or, well, oh, no, you can't do that. Their loan's not assumable. And Sessing did a great job where she said it's not assuming. It's similar to assuming. The only difference is the loan stays in their name. We simply take over the payments. And again, you might get agents like, okay, they might be curious of how that works, or you might get agents that say, absolutely not, like this one, right? So, and then I go into more of the mechanisms of sub 2, right? So, we do buy the property, we take over all the ownership and management and maintenance of the property, so it's ours, we own it. But one way I like to explain it is it's very similar to co-signing on a car. So even though we're making the payments, right, they are just co-signed for us. So that's one way to explain it. We set up a third-party company that makes sure the payments are made every month, blah, blah, blah. There's a deed in lieu of foreclosure if we ever get abducted by aliens and miss payments. So that gets more into the weeds of things. But yeah, just we take over the payments, we pay them their equity, we take over ownership of the property. It's very similar to co-signing on a car. They're just co-signing for us. And two, another way to maybe handle that, Sessing, is, I completely understand. I wouldn't just let anyone take over my mortgage, right? I wouldn't. Like, if someone was like, hey, I'll take over your mortgage payments, but like, okay, what's your experience? What's your credibility? Let me see a proof of funds, right? Have you done this before? Let me see your paperwork. Again, she just had her wall off, but I say that a lot of the times. I understand it's not a good fit for everybody. I wouldn't let anybody who called me out of the blue take over their payments. So again, like I said, we buy 3 to 6 homes a month. I have a credibility letter I can send you with referrals from past sellers, title companies, closing attorneys. That's a big one. Closing attorneys that have done these transactions with us, title companies, lenders, all that good stuff. And then another big one is my sellers. You can call my past sellers and see how it's gone for them. So I'll send you that, and you can see that we do this multiple times a month all over the country. It's not illegal in in any point, we know what we're doing. Yeah, but I would say Stevie's right. We're going to go to the sellers because screw that agent.
Right.
Imagine if that was if you went to sell your home and you hired an agent and that's how she was talking to prospective buyers. I would be furious. I'd be like, what are you doing? You're literally closing opportunities. One, she'd never heard of subject to, so it's likely she hasn't had that conversation with her clients. So how do you know what your clients want if you've never had that conversation, right? She's literally closing an opportunity from a buyer on her clients. So that's just a bad agent. Does everyone all want to
Tell him
call the
about
same?
Joey, how he, the agent did the same thing, but he called the seller and we closed the deal.
Yeah. We're literally, that's happening. We're closing on a property today. The seller wasn't rude. He was just new, and he said his broker wouldn't allow it. But he didn't show them my offer. We called the seller and that deal is closing today. So it does happen. The seller told me that she knew subject to was being offered, but she didn't know there was an actual physical offer sent to them. So they were a little upset, right? And I said, yeah, well, what's an email? I'll send you the offer right now. And they accepted it, right? They thought it was a good fit for them. So as an agent, right, you're there to represent your clients, not make decisions for them. So
Right.
100%.
Okay.
Joel says we should all call that agent. I like that idea. Right. And Stevie says a good question too. So you wouldn't present a viable offer to your client, right? Like,
Right.
so
That's true.
if I send you an offer, you won't present it. Is that what I'm hearing? Found out my parents bought their first home sub 2 in 1965. Wow, Amy, that's crazy. Amy's parents bought their home sub 2 in 1965. So that just tells you sub 2 has been around a long time. That's crazy. My mom sold her first home subject to back in the 80s or 70s. I don't know. But yeah, my mom sold her home subject to back then. She didn't really understand it. She was getting divorced from her husband before my dad, all before I was born. But they were desperate, right? Like I don't know the exact scenario. She doesn't recall it, but my guess is they recently bought it. They didn't have a ton of equity and they sold it subject to. So that's awesome, Amy. That's really cool. Geez, you guys are commenting like crazy. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to get through these. Maybe she's missing, like go somewhere, a special partner to love. Yeah, maybe she's lonely at night. That could be it. Charles says, off subject, what is a good way to come up with accurate comps in a non-disclosure state that does not have much data as other states? Good question, Charles. Obviously, Zillow is going to be tough if it's a non-disclosure state like Texas. So you may have to resort to other programs.
Dylan,
paid.
you should try calling that agent and see if she talks any different.
Maybe. I'd rather call her
That's a
sellers.
good one.
Yeah, I'd rather call her sellers. But yeah, Charles, you might have to resort to, if like your market is Texas and you're doing like cash, you might have to pay for a program like Privy or PropStream. Privy's really good. Privy's better for comping, better than PropStream. So yeah, you might just have to use those, or county records, but it will just take you a little bit more to look into them. See you, Rachel. Yeah, co-signing. Oh, cool, Anthony. Yeah. Co-signing is a great way to do it. Another way I like to explain it is if you want to explain, this is more into the weeds, but contract for deed, right? So subject to and contract for deed are very similar. Contract for deed is a little bit different, where you're not technically getting the deed, you're just taking over the payments. The deed will stay in the seller's name until you pay the mortgage off. In that scenario, it's very similar to financing a car, right? The bank holds the title until the car's paid off, then you get the title. So that's another way to explain contract for deed and subject to in a way too. But we prefer to get the deed transferred to us. But if there's no way that they would allow it and it's a good deal, we would still buy it on a contract for deed. Thanks, Joel. You're always flattering me, man. I appreciate it. Alec, how do we get this credibility letter? So we don't just pass out our credibility letter. If you're a sub 2 student, Pace has a credibility letter that he lets you use. if you ever want to do a deal with us, if you have a good lead and we think it's a good fit, we'll send the seller a credibility letter and CC you on it. And if you take that and do what you want with it, that's up to you. But we just don't want to pass that out because we just don't know what it might be used for. If you're a sub 2 student, PACE has one you can use. Love it. Do you have a PDF or file explains? Yeah, Rinda asked a great question. Do we have something that explains subject to? So again, if you guys, I'm just gonna do some self-promotion here. If you guys come to our Facebook group, we have some good resources for you. So come over to this files, we have subject to questions. So this is a PDF that has a lot of frequently asked questions about subject to. So make sure you go in and download that. That helps you understand subject to more. And then when you're going to send an offer to an agent, it helps them understand it more as well. So yeah, definitely make sure you guys go in and download that. Yeah, plus watch our previous Zooms. We talk about subject to a lot. So Joel would pay money for us to call. Should we? I don't know. Thanks, Essing. She probably already left. I'll record it for her. Should we call the agent just to have some fun? I think it would be fun, huh? Instantly, I just saw all the notifications in the chat. So okay, let's do it. So this was here's the address right here. 11916 Southwest something. 11916 Southwest 18th Street in Yukon, Oklahoma. 11916 Southwest 18th. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully it's not pending. Okay, good. So let's see too. Maybe this agent's crazy, right? Like maybe subject to is a good fit. I think I've actually already sent an offer to this lady. I'll have to double check, but yeah, look at this. They're listed at 308 and they owe 277. So just to show you guys, right? They're listed at, what did I say? 308. Yeah, 308,000, right? Zillow says the average cost to sell your home is anywhere from 8 to 10%. Being a buyer's market, it's definitely a buyer's market that we're in my opinion. If you think it's a seller's market, that's your opinion, but I think it's a buyer's market. Buyers are beating up homes on inspection, right? Even brand new 2023 builds, these developers build these homes in 30 days or less. There's going to be things wrong with brand new homes. So even a 2016 build like this, right? Carpets might need to be replaced, as you can see, right? Like, who knows, blinds or doors might need to be replaced. Who knows? There could be problems with HVAC, anything. So buyers might ask for, $5,000 off to replace the carpets, and sellers agree to those, right? So I think out of 308,000, they are going to pay at least 9% in commissions and closing costs. So they'd be lucky to get a net sale of 280. They owe 277, right? They'd be lucky to make $3,000, $2,000 if they sell at this price that they're asking, right? And then also let's take a look at this, right? They were listed at, okay, so they haven't been listed long, right? 6.6 posted it for 313. And they did do a price drop to 308, and that was actually a couple of days ago. So who knows, right? They may be getting showings, they may have gotten offers, who knows? So okay does allow sub 2. Okay isn't the most wholesale friendly, but yeah, you can do sub 2. You guys are right. Texas doesn't allow contract for deeds, so that's one issue we've been running into. Rinda asked, you like Privy or PropStream? I think they do different things. If I had to pick one, I would say PropStream. Yeah. What do you think, Ange? Should we? I'm going to let you decide. Should we call the agent or should we call the sellers?
Small valve, and then if we could clear the valve,
Both, maybe.
Both. Call the agent.
Sellers.
If she's rude to you and says, no,
That's
no,
what we're
no,
about to do.
call the seller.
You want to call the sellers?
Call the agent first, see how she
Okay.
reacts. And then if she doesn't say, so you won't send my offer? If she says no, then you call the seller.
Okay. Okay. And I'm going to open with, I'd like to send you an offer. Jamie Doherty. Okay. 405-640-3528. Are you out, Travis? Yeah, man. Okay. See you, man. Good to see you, brother. All right, guys.
Is it a low equity, Dylan?
He was fatigued.
Low equity, yeah. Double tap. Damn, no luck. I think we should just call the sellers anyways. Let me see if I sent an LOI to this. Oh, wait. No, that was in Florida. Southwest. Yeah, nope. Ange, can you get me Lindsay Shu's number?
How do you spell it?
Lindsay Shu SHEW.
Okay, hang on.
Zip code 73099.
Dylan, make sure you tell the sellers how nice the agent was.
Right, yeah. Yeah, what I typically do is tell them, you know, your agent is looking out for you, for your what she thinks is your best interest, but I just wanted to call you and let you know that I asked to present an offer to your agent and she was not willing to present it to you. Is there any way I can send my offer to you?
Text it to you.
You texted it to me? Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Let's try this first one. You always got to click into it. 3, 4. Okay.
This is Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay. Yeah, sorry to bother you. My name's Dylan. I am actually just calling about the home you're selling on Southwest 18th Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had actually spoken to your agent, and maybe I caught her on a bad day. She actually hung up on me. I wanted to send her an offer to make to you guys, and I think she's looking out for your guys' best interest. An offer from me would look like it would be almost a full price offer. I would basically offer to pay you guys your equity and take over the payments on your existing loan. Has she talked to you about that at all, or given you that as an option?
No, but we're actually not interested in that. If I want to sell, I just want it fully gone.
Gotcha. Okay. Have you explored that or heard anything about that though?
No, and I actually work in the mortgage industry.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
That's not something we're interested in, but thank you.
Gotcha. Okay, no worries, Lindsay. 100%, it's not a good fit for everybody. We do buy a good 3 to 6 homes a month in Oklahoma this way. So it does work out sometimes. If you don't mind, I will save your contact in my CRM and maybe follow up in a month if anything's changed.
Sure, that'd be fine.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Cool. Okay. So no harm, no foul. She might have her own predispositions about that, right? Like, doesn't sound like she's very familiar with it, right? But her being in the mortgage industry, lenders, I would say more just as real estate agents are, when I at least know, when you're a real estate agent, Angie can attest to this and my other agents can attest to this. When you go to real estate school, right? They don't teach you a whole lot about real estate. They teach you about what you can't do as a real estate agent. They teach you that DORA, the regulator that oversees real estate. And I'm sure this is the same way for lenders, if not more, that they just put the fear of God into you. They say, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, or your license will get taken. You could be subject to lawsuits or jail time, right? So they really scare agents and lenders. Am I right in that, Ange? Do you agree to that? Yep, she's shaking her head. Yeah. So, right, that might be her predisposition as someone who's in the lending industry. They scare the crap out of you, right? So she might think it's illegal. They might think whatever, right? So yeah, maybe, who knows? They hopefully, right? I sincerely hope they get a full priced offer. She makes, a couple $1,000s. She gets her name off the note, and they live happily ever after. I hope that for them. But if they don't get an offer, right, we follow up in a month, they're getting more desperate, they might entertain it. So yeah, just fortune is in the follow-up. We'll keep touching base with them. I'll give it another month or so. They haven't been listed very long. The agent, we didn't get motivation or how much interest getting it on the property. So who knows, it might sell it. Anthony, you have a question?
Hey, we talked about one in San Antonio like 10 days ago, and you wrote an LOI on it. And I was telling you that he just is kind of like gatekeeping, and he doesn't really want to present it, I don't think. And you were like, I'm going to see how he sounds when I call him in 48 hours. He doesn't call me back. And then if not, we might be able to skip trace it. Can I drop it in the chat real quick and maybe look at it and see if we might be able to skip trace the owner of it? Because they're investors.
Yeah. Do you remember the agent's name?
Yeah, I got it right now, ready to go.
I think you muted on accident, Anthony.
No, I dropped it in the chat for you.
Okay, this is the agent's name, Frederico. Okay, let me tell you.
Yeah. This is a 120K Airbnb profit a year.
Huh. I'm not seeing it in our system, but yeah, we could try to call the sellers directly. What's the address? I think I remember looking at this one.
Give me 1 second, Dylan.
All right. People still got 67 people, man. You guys are all just beautiful. I love that. But if this was
in there,
your first
Dylan.
Zoom for only, okay, got it. Right on, Anthony. Yeah, if this was your first Zoom, or maybe you guys have been in here multiple times in our Zooms, if you guys learned anything today, or maybe got at least one nugget of value, if you could drop another one in the chat. Awesome. You guys are awesome. Boom, look at that. I love it. I love to see it. You guys are so awesome. All right, so let's take a peek. Okay, I remember this one. Yeah. So they have it on Airbnb. I think they have a lot of equity, if I remember right, but they do have a mortgage.
Yeah, I think you did say they had a lot of equity.
Yeah. They do have a good rate though, 2.9. Didn't we send one, Hawthorne?
Yeah, you sent an LOI. I got CC'd in it.
Okay. Huh. It looks like I got the wrong email though. So maybe he never even got it in the first place.
Oh, horrible. Dang. You want to try to call the agent? You want to try to skip Jason and call the owners though? Because I've been talking to him for 2 months. We have a good relationship now. Obviously, you know, your boy would be on the phone with these guys a lot, but he doesn't want anything to do with subject to, but I think he's just not presenting it. And they're investors. So that if we give them something that makes sense, I think we can make something happen with this.
Yeah, let's do it. Angie, can you get me Junfin Valdez's phone number? I'll drop it in the chat for you. And the zip code, let's see if that's a mailing address. Yep, same mailing address. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, so if you guys learned something today, we just really appreciate the way you can help us back is by subscribing to Angie's YouTube channel. That's all we ask. And if you want to shout us out in the creative Facebook group with Pace Morby too, that helps us as well. So thank you guys. Done. Look at that, Angie. We're getting you to 1,000. We're doing it.
I can't
It
find
might just be
Junfin. No, I can't find it.
Junfin Valdez. Yeah. Maybe try Sonia Valdez.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim. I love that nickname.
Okay, I got Sonia.
Yeah, Sonia. Okay, Sonia.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, yes, Sonia. Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to text it. There you go.
Okay. 0968. I don't know. Should I try Sonia or John? I'm gonna say Sonia. Okay, double tap. You guys saw the double tap work. The last seller I called, she didn't answer the first time, but she answered the second time.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry to bother you. Is this Sonia? Yeah, hi Sonia. My name is Dylan. I'm actually calling you about the home you're selling on Hawthorne Woods. Yeah, I sent an offer to your agent a few days ago. I haven't been able to get a hold of him, so I don't know if he presented it. I'm very interested in buying this. I just have a couple of other properties I'm looking at, so I thought I'd call you directly. Okay. Let me take a look at it real quick. So my offer price was Oh, that's not it. Sorry. Let me go back to it 1 second. So I offered 746,000. It's a creative type of transaction though. So public record shows me that you guys have a mortgage on the property for roughly 340,000. My offer would be a 746,000 purchase price, and I would put 44,000 as a down payment. I also offered to pay your agent's commission as well as any closing costs. I would then take over the payments on your existing mortgage, and with your remaining equity at 360,000, we would structure a seller finance note at 4% interest.
Oh, that's not gonna work. That's probably why they did a percent. The money makes me a lot of money. Quite honestly, I make about after all my expenses about $60,000 a year of income after all expenses. So the reality is the reason we're out of it is not because we're not making money, it's because we need the cash for another investment.
Okay, understood. Okay.
So that's the reason they probably haven't presented it to me, because I've been made very clear that whatever, I mean, you can take over the mortgage and maybe get another way of pay the difference, and that's fine. But otherwise it wouldn't work.
Gotcha. Okay. Is there, so, I mean, we would be interested in increasing that, maybe just paying you out all the equity. Is there a certain amount you need specifically, or just in a range at least?
Oh, we need the whole thing.
The whole thing. Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. Well, good to know. Let me go back to the drawing board and see if we can make something work. Your agent did disclose that you guys are grossing roughly $120,000 a year on the Airbnb. Okay.
Yeah, and I can show you the Airbnb, the numbers.
Yeah.
It's literally been grossing 2 years in a row.
Gotcha. Okay. Would you guys consider leaving the furniture? Okay. Sweet. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sonia.
It includes 3 large screen TVs.
Okay.
Like I said, it's 5 full furniture, everything. I mean, you can see the pictures.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Sonos, surround sound inside, like this door.
Okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful home. I'm an investor myself too. I have quite a few long-term rentals and some Airbnbs as well too. So I'm definitely interested. So let me go back to the drawing board and see if I can't just try to pay you your equity or find some type of financing for it to work for me.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And then lastly, public record shows me you guys have a 2.9 rate on the balance. You guys would consider just letting us take that payment over?
I mean, as long as the bank approves you and it's out of our name, yeah.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, no.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, good to know.
If bank will have to beg you, blah blah blah. But yeah, the interest on it is ridiculous.
Okay.
So you would want to do that.
Sweet.
Sure.
Sweet. Awesome.
Because I think our interest is at 2.75.
Oh wow. Yeah. Amazing.
So I mean, if the bank approves you taking over the mortgage, I'm sure that I don't care.
Okay.
As long as it's not on my credit report.
Okay. Terrific. Okay. And then if when I redraft my offer, I will send it back to your agent then.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. One sec, guys. Sorry.
Get her email, Dylan.
Yeah. Well, so here's my thought. I saw your comment. I didn't want to get her email. Here's my thought. She also didn't understand subject to, right? She was like, if the bank approves you, I didn't want to handle that objection because I want to see if us putting, they're asking 690 and they owe 340, right? So they want $300,000 in their pocket. Unlikely it even works for us in the first place.
You don't
we can
think you
figure
can
it
find
out.
a buyer at all on that one?
No, not really. It's tough, Anthony, for someone to put 340,000 into one property. For me, right, I'm an investor. Let's say I had all the money in the world, right? And someone said, hey, here's an opportunity. It's cost you 340,000, probably more, closing costs, agent commissions, my assignment fee. $340,000. I want an Airbnb. I want to make sure I'm making at least 15% because it's volatile, right? There's going to be months where I'm making 0%. It might maybe losing money. So I want to make sure at least on an annual basis, I'm covered by at least a 15% return. So I need to be making $4,000, $42.50 a month after expenses, after paying my mortgage, for that to be a good investment, right? So it's unlikely, right? So she grosses $120,000 a year after expenses, Airbnb expenses. You're paying utilities, you're paying cleaning crews, you're paying vacancy, maintenance, right? You have more foot traffic generally, so there's going to be more problems that arise, things that need to be replaced, furniture, all that good stuff. So I'm going to multiply my expenses. I'm going to calculate my expenses at 25%. So 120,000 gross times 0.75. So that's me taking off 25%. Divide by 12 is 7,500. Okay. And so I said I needed to make, what was it, 4,250, somewhere around that, 4,250 bucks. Okay. So subtract 4,250. That leaves me 3,250 to pay for PITI. So it might be close, but it's going to be tough for anyone to sink that much money into one deal. I will underwrite it though, Anthony. I will actually verify if we can't put 300 grand, maybe we can put 200 grand, right? She might consider that. So who knows?
Maybe if someone's looking for bonus depreciation as well, and there's someone big like Pace that needs that,
Right. It is a good area, San Antonio. It's already operating as an Airbnb, so that's another positive. So who knows? It could still work. I gotta get on a phone call, so I don't have time to underwrite it right now. Morby method might work. Possible.
How long you got till you got to get off, Dylan?
Like right now, I've had two missed calls from a seller that we're closing on, so I got to call her right now. So I'm going to end it there. But yeah, thanks all you beautiful people. Pansy, if you could shoot me a text or shoot Rachel a text if you have a super important question. I have to call it. So thank you guys for showing up.
No, I don't. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, thanks, Pansy. I think we had close to 70 people in the Zoom at one point. So all we ask of you guys, if you guys learned something, subscribe to Angie's YouTube or shout us out on the creative Facebook group with Pace Morby. Or if you're a sub 2 student and you're learning some stuff, shout us out in sub 2. Always helps us just add credibility. So love it. Thank you guys. We have another Zoom. Our next Zoom is next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. If you guys can make it, that's the Q&A. So if you guys have questions or deals, that's just a general Zoom. Again, join our Facebook group, and yeah, have a safe weekend, you guys. Crush it, make some calls, call some agents, and we will see you next week. Peace.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you.